Bah, bah, bah.
Uh-oh. Fam, we're live, fam. Episode 198.
Yes.
So what's going on, brother?
It's episode 198. I'm excited to be here. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on. Like since last episode.
Since last, fam.
Since last episode, there's a lot of things going on. A lot of things happened. And it's mostly all, like, everything that's in my head is this rap beef. And we're going to get to it, but, like, that's what's in my head. And it makes you think. It's like, what else are they hiding back there?
Yeah, it's to this point, it's all ting damn, fam.
Yeah, that's all I care about. They could be making decisions behind doors right now that where they're changing. They might have to make. I wake up tomorrow and they tell me, you know what? That the left shoe goes on the right foot now, and like that's the law. We passed it last night.
That's
And
it.
I was like, damn, I spent the whole night listening to Family Matters.
Yeah, you know what would have been real if he did Family Matters, if he started it with the Family Matters intro?
If he would have sampled the intro,
Yeah, if it was like, come on.
that would have been hard.
That would have been way harder, bro.
Somebody's
If he
gonna
had
do
Carl
that.
Winslow in there that was just shaking his head, shaking his head at Kendrick.
It would have been hard.
All right, let's get these announcements out of the way real quick. Master None Podcast, episode 198. We appreciate everybody for tuning in now live. If you're not tuning in live now, hopefully you'll be able to watch the episode later on in the archives, either here on YouTube, on Twitch for 30 days, or on Rumble, or you can watch us on Kick. You could also check us out, audio versions on all your favorite audio podcast listening platforms of Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you find your favorite audio podcasts. And if you don't find us on your favorite audio podcast listening platform, Berto about to let you know so we could get into these topics.
Join a Discord. Join a Discord and harass us until we place a podcast in your obscure podcast listening platform. And with that being said, let the episode begin.
Let the episode begin. And shout out to Chris in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Where did that Toronto accent come from?
I don't know. I think it's one of those weird like hybrid accents. I think it's a combination of Caribbean, English, I don't know, French.
How does that happen? Have they been talking like that for a long time?
I'm sure they have locally, but I feel like it seems like it just started 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's because
Right, fam?
Yeah, fam. Did somebody just make this up?
Fam. I think so, fam.
Dude, I've seen, it's funny when you hear like other countries that speak English like talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
I watched this one guy in Toronto, like sonning an Uber driver one day. And dude, they use totally different words. It's the same language. It's funny to listen to for whatever reason. It's funny when you listen to English people argue too, because they like that one video we watched where the guy calls the other guy a Muppet.
Yeah.
It's like, it's funny. Like, we don't use that here. So when you hear somebody else using it, it's like, oh, that is an insult and it's funny.
See, I find when people say Muppet, I think of Kermit and shit.
Yeah, me too.
I think of like Jim Henson shit,
Dude, that's exactly where my mind goes.
But what I think about when I hear that Toronto accent, when I hear people doing that, is I think to myself, I picture people that have no idea what real deal New York City East Coast accent sounds like, and then they hear two people from the Bronx argue.
Yeah.
Imagine hearing two people from the Bronx argue if you never heard English before. Like you never heard somebody from New York speak.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. It's like two people arguing in Thai.
Yeah.
You'd have no idea.
I was going to say Russian, but yeah.
Yeah, you'd have no idea what you're hearing.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
They'd be like, why do they keep on reassuring that the other person knows what they mean?
Yeah, what's the clapping about? Is the clapping, is that a part of it? Is that like an accent? How do you write that? Is that written in?
He keeps on saying, nah, I mean, know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that mean he thinks does he not know that he speaks English as well? And it's like, I couldn't imagine what people would be thinking, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, the reason we bring that up, and we're talking about all these things, is we got more updates on this Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing going on.
It seems like every week there's just more and more and more. I think it's going to be difficult to top last week.
I think so too. I think that was a really big week with Kendrick going back to back with those two records, right? With Meet the Grams as well as What? You're Not Like Us? Is that the name of that record?
I don't know what the second. That's the last one that came out.
It's that really West Coast joint.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then Drake coming back with the Family Matters joint, or with the Heart Part 6.
Part 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so let's start with the Kendrick.
Yes.
When I heard Family Matters, we talked about this last week, and we said that the original Kendrick track, I felt like it was a little light. The word I used was lackluster. It was it was an all right track, but it wasn't as good in my opinion as Drake's. And then he drops Family Matters, and the second I listened to it, like the way the song is it's like he's writing letters to, you know, Drake's family. I was like, the second he was talking about his kid and his mom, I was like, oh man, this is a smash right here.
Yeah, I think I'm messing up the order. Now that I think of it, I think it was Family Matters came out, then Kendrick responded with Meet the Grams and that other joint, You're Not Like Us. Then Drake responded to those two with the
Part 6
with the Heart Part 6, but then yes, I think that's
Correct.
how it went.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Kendrick dropped back to back, and then Drake dropped the last track, which was I know it's Part 6. I don't remember what the I thought it was almost like nail in the coffin, right? Because when you hear songs, you just like, but then Drake drops his song and he's alleging that none of it's true, and it's like, you know, it's all. And it kind of took a little bit away from the song, but the song's still hard. Yeah.
You know what? The only thing I really didn't like about that song is that he took the end to just talk and explain. I'm like, you know, like that takes away from it. You explained enough in the raps. Like that's the whole point, is to explain in the raps. Like imagine if Ether, at the end of Ether, Nas started pleading his case.
Yeah.
As to why he's not, like, you know, why he's better than Jay-Z, or why Jay-Z's tripping or something. Like, I don't know. That was whack, I thought, you know.
Chris says it's Push-Ups, Euphoria, Family Matters, Meet the Grams, Not Like Us, Heart Part 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what about the other one? There's another one there. The Kendrick joint. 616.
Oh, 1212 in LA?
I think it was 616.
616 in LA?
Yeah, I think it was 616 in LA. So that squeezes in there at some point too.
Yeah.
Which people, people dig for the craziest meaning in Kendrick's bars.
He makes you do that though.
Yeah, but some people are just reaching for crazy stuff. You know, when you could just dig for conspiracies and just give meaning. I don't know. I did this thing on my story. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see this thing on my story?
What is it?
I just talked about how crazy it is. I was like, it's crazy that people are just digging this hard for these Kendrick bars. They're like, you know, like Kendrick dropped at the end of April, right? And then he dropped something in the beginning of May.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, what do we know about May? He dropped a song in May. We know that April showers bring May flowers.
That's a fact.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So April showers bring May flowers, right? He dropped a song in May. What do we do with flowers? We bring flowers to grave sites.
Oh, he's killing them.
Right?
Yeah.
We bring flowers to the grave sites. Mm-hmm. And then what's at the grave site? Deceased people.
Dead people.
So clearly, Kendrick is saying that he is simulating the lyrical and rap execution of Drake.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
I thought
that was implied.
This is how people are going in on this, and it's crazy to me. I'm like, dude, this is nuts.
Did you see Sharp? You know who Sharp is from No Jumper?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see him saying, like, yo, good looking Drake for shouting me out on the song? He believes. So, like, a couple weeks ago, he was exposed. Like, one of the other co-hosts on No Jumper, Brick Baby, exposed him for having, in his guest bathroom, he has, like, framed pictures of all of Drake's album covers. And they were like, bro, why do you have like all of Drake's album covers in your guest bathroom? Like, that's mad weird. But they exposed him on the podcast. And then this Drake drops, I think Family Matters, or was it the Heart Part 6? He drops that song and he says something about the A minor, and then you got a B sharp. And he's like, that's me he's talking about. He said, you got to be sharp. He's like, he's talking about me. It's a little shout out.
He's kidding, right?
Dude, I'm not. Everybody
But
there.
he's joking.
Everybody, it doesn't seem that way. Everybody keeps telling me, like, bro, you know he ain't shot you. He wasn't talking about you, right? And he's like, yo, that's it. Yeah. He posted, he put it on his story. He was like, yo, good looking for the shout out at Champagne Poppy. It was the most ridiculous. I'm like, dude, that's not real.
Now, I think that's marketing. He's got to be trying to just get some clicks and stuff and have people laugh, because anybody knows A sharp, B minor. And then he said, or rather A minor, you got a B sharp. And then he even says like D major, that D major. And I'm like, damn. Yeah. I'm like, yep. The problem is, I'm going to tell you this, honestly, how I feel. Right now, I think it's pretty much neck and neck at this point.
I think
it's going around 5.
Is it going? Is it over?
This can't be the end of it unless they have a celebrity boxing match.
Drake made it seem like he wasn't gonna make another song. He said like he's going on vacation, which I'm like, where are you going? You live on vacation. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's kind of like Cam said. Did you see Cameron? Cameron was like, you don't get to decide this is over. He said, this ain't over. He said, you sound at the end of the song like you're done. Like you don't want any part of this anymore. He's like, you don't get to decide that. He's like, if somebody's still coming at you on records, like you don't bow out. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So he's going on vacation. He's not planning on continuing this, it sounds like.
That's what it sounded like to me. You think he really got that body surgery?
I mean, it's possible, but you got to be an idiot. You got to know there's some kind of war clerk. There's some nurse's aide that's seen you. They're going to talk about it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
100%.
Like, come on. What do you think? You think the surgeon's not like, he's out under anesthesia. My daughter loves Drake.
Yeah, let's see his dick.
Right? Let's see. And then they look at it like, that video is cap.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know, man. It's a funny thing, this whole, but it's not funny anymore. Did you see what happened last night?
What?
There was apparently some kind of shooting at Drake's house.
Oh, I seen headlines about this.
Yeah, last night apparently some security guard outside, but I don't know if it's related. I mean, who knows who the security guy is? He could be involved in something on the side that Drake doesn't know about. Maybe he's got some gambling debts. I mean,
this is what was it in the States or was it in his house in Toronto?
I don't know. It's weird. I hate when I read a news article and it doesn't say the state. You can't just say like the county.
Yeah.
Like you read something about Florida or something that's like Broward County or whatever. Or like, listen, not everybody knows this, given it's probably a local paper.
Yeah.
So anybody knows, like if it was a Long Island paper, they'd be like Nassau County, So I don't know where it was. I would imagine it was probably LA if I had to guess.
Okay.
I'd probably say LA.
Because I didn't think that Kendrick had Crodies in Toronto. They were going to ride for him.
You didn't know that he had fam?
No, I didn't know
he had Crody fam out there?
They must have been cheesed when they were running up there.
Yo, shout out Buddy Lofton, bro, because I was in tears laughing at this guy's story. Yo.
Yeah, I thought it was very funny.
It was so funny. And I was like, this is so hysterical because it's like the most hysterically, it's like a great take on this thing. It's not picking sides, just poking fun at this hilarious shit.
And he's just he was impressively good at like that Toronto accent. Dude, there's a girl, I forgot what her name is. Is it Chromaz? There's like the first lady of Toronto. She 100% talks like that. Like that's not an exaggeration.
Is that the one with the lashes, fam? That was talking on that podcast?
Her. Yeah,
so
she's the one. She's real smart.
She looked pretty intelligent.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, that one. She had bangs, right?
Dude, she
looked like a 90s Puerto Rican chick from New York. That was like her appearance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, fam. Anyway, so that's music, but we did want to catch up a little bit on The Weeknd.
The Weeknd was pretty good, I'm not going to lie.
The Weeknd was super dope. So this past Friday, we hit a comedy show. Not just any comedy show.
Not just any
comedy show. We hit that Andrew Schultz show at the Garden. He sold out the Garden.
Yeah.
That's 20,000 people there for a comic.
That's a lot of people.
Dude, that's crazy. I think Chappelle and Rogan sold out the Garden, didn't they?
I'm sure Dave Chappelle could sell out a football stadium.
Yeah, but he's the only one. I mean, Sebastian Maniscalco sold out the Garden. So there's a few that can, but you could probably count them on one hand who has sold out the Garden as a comic.
Really?
Probably. I mean, who else would it? You got Dane
Honestly,
Cook.
I don't know.
Dane Cook shot a special there. Remember the
Yeah.
I just remember like this.
The shocker thing. It was
This
called.
thing. That's it.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll remember it.
So
It's called the Vicious Circle.
yes, him, Andrew Schultz. I think it's safe to say Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle, and probably Sebastian Maniscalco. I mean, who else? Maybe back in the day, we're talking about.
Yeah,
You
maybe.
know, George Carlin probably could have done it.
I seen a TikTok that alleged that there was a train like station built underneath the garden where like presidents and stuff come in through. There's like a track that's like a secret track that only like, top secret people go through. They used to use it back in the day so presidents could come and see shows and leave, or high profile people.
Really? Did they shut that station down?
I don't know. I don't
You
even
know
know
that
if it's true.
station still exists. It's called Penn Station.
No, Penn Station's not underneath. The
Yes, it
Madison Square
is.
Garden's not on top of Penn Station.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Bro, it literally is.
All right.
You go upstairs from the garden, from the Penn Station to go to Madison Square Garden, and you're right there. It's literally under the garden.
I always thought that the garden was here and Penn is here, like underground. Because Penn, it's like, I'm sure that there's some sections of Penn that cross underneath the garden, but I'm pretty sure the garden has to have its own like basement and stuff.
I mean,
I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's not 100% directly under the building or the
Yeah, because
structure.
you leave Penn to get into the garden. And even when you get out of the garden, you like cross like a thing to get into Penn. You don't ever get from Penn directly into the garden without leaving Penn Station.
Well, yeah, but you pretty much just go straight upstairs to the street, and there's the garden, and you're like right there.
Yeah, that's why I always thought it was next to it, but maybe you're right.
Yeah, it's definitely partially under the garden, 110%.
I could see that.
Yeah, but anyway, that's not even important. But so maybe that's why they originally built it for the presidents, and then they turned it into Penn Station.
And then they were like, you know what? Everybody come here now.
That would make sense, actually, because I always wondered, how could this be this convenient? I swear to God, that's what I used to think. I'm like, how could this be this convenient that you just take the train in, you walk upstairs, and you're at the Knick game?
Yeah, it is super convenient. I seen like that TikTok I seen. I guess I was just getting fed like TikToks about the garden, but supposedly it's like a historical, like what is it considered, an arena?
The garden?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. It's like a historical arena. Like it's like one of a kind.
Oh,
And
hell yeah.
it's been there for very long. I wish I knew that I had the stats, and I wish I
Dude,
missed.
it's the
Twist.
most famous arena in the world, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's had like pretty much, you could probably say the majority of the major events performance-wise and the major fights and the major stuff has happened there.
It's so crazy because in my mind it's just like, oh, that's the garden. Like,
Yeah, you go there all the time.
yeah,
Like,
it's
no
like,
big
yeah,
deal.
it's a, oh,
You're
that's
like,
the garden.
I saw the circus there when I was a kid. I went
Yeah.
to the Knick games. I've been to,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
just like
yeah,
that's
been to-
just the state. There's no other stadium, right? There's no
Yeah.
other arena. It's like that, and then Nassau Coliseum, I suppose. But it's like,
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, it's like that. It's just the one.
Yep, it's the
If
one.
we're
and
gonna go
it's-
see something, it's probably gonna be at the Garden. Like now we have, like I said, UBS.
Look, and it's the most iconic. I'm gonna actually look up while we're talking about this.
How iconic it is.
I want to look up like most iconic events at Madison Square Garden is literally after in history. It's like, yo, it goes most iconic events in history and then most iconic events at Madison Square Garden. So let me see.
The 2024 Andrew Schultz show.
Let's see. As the home of the New York Knicks, of course, the 1970 Knicks NBA championship, the Rangers 94 Stanley Cup, and the fight of the century, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier.
Oh, that was at
Fought
the Garden.
Yeah, they fought at the Garden. That's why Conor McGregor dressed the way he did. I'm pretty sure Conor and Floyd Mayweather was at the Garden, wasn't it? Or was it in Vegas?
That was probably in Vegas. You know,
No, was
Floyd-
it Nate? Which was the fight that he dressed like Joe Frazier? He wore the red turtleneck and the white fur coat. I think it was at the Garden. It was for the promo at the Garden.
That was
for the
I'm trying to think.
Floyd fight. Remember they had 4 different press conferences?
Yes, and he came out in like that pimp coat.
He came out in the Joe Frazier. That's exactly what Joe Frazier wore at the press conference for Muhammad Ali fight.
Oh,
he wore the red turtleneck with the white fur coat.
I never knew that till.
Yeah. And then Conor wore the same shit. Like that. Yo, Conor's one of the best ever, bro. At this whole just bravado type of thing.
It's so crazy how it is true where they say like that money kind of makes people crazy because I'm so impressed by him, but he does look like he's kind of off his rocker, right?
Conor?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he is a little bit. You have to be, dude. You think anybody's normal that like fights to that level? Look at John Jones. He's nuts.
Even amongst those guys, he seems like he's crazy. Yeah, John Jones. Dude, there's always enough. There's like every 6 months where I think John's sober, there's a new video of him hammered talking shit to somebody in the street. Yeah, he'd just be readily available.
Dude. It's who he is, and I'm not mad.
In places. I seen him. There was him somebody had him in a comedy show, like just hammered in the back. So and you can't see him, but you could hear his voice. It's so distinctly him. It's just like, what are you doing drunk heckling comics? Like,
yeah.
Go home, John. What are you doing?
I mean, I'd be pretty honored to be heckled by John Jones, right? Imagine you're a comic and John Jones is yelling from the crowd.
He wasn't even like talking shit. Like they were having like a discourse. Obviously there's no discourse that should be had unless like the comic calls you out. But yeah, I guess I wouldn't be mad. I'm a fan, so I'd be like, oh shit, John Jones. Are you drunk?
Right? Dude, I wouldn't even ask.
Yeah, go home, John. I'm gonna fucking call Dana. I'm doing this because I care about you, John.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah. Dude, I wouldn't even ask that question, dude. You know a dude that's really drunk and you ask him if he's drunk?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not fucking drunk.
Yeah.
You're drunk.
That's when they get even drunker. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask it. If a dude is hammered and you start asking him if he's drunk, that's bad news. Bro.
Yeah, dude. That's what happened when they asked Meek Mill if he smokes pole. Immediately, he was like, I'm fucking not gay. How dare you? I fuck 4 girls every 4 hours.
He's like, I'll tell you what, can't be a pussy around me. That's not going to get stuck. You know what I'm saying? Immediately everybody was like, gay.
Yeah. I seen Adam 22 post that this Drake thing is all to cover up the fact that Meek Mill smokes pole. This is to cover up the Diddy and Meek Mill relationship. Yo, that's exactly what Drake's doing. Drake's an industry plant brought in here to take eyes off of Diddy and Meek and their love affair.
Dude, I can guarantee that Meek and Diddy are popping champagne right now, thanking the Lord for the fact that these people that Drake and Kendrick are going back and forth like this and occupying the attention.
Especially Meek Mill. Diddy still got to pay. He still got to, the feds ain't, taking, they're not pausing to listen to the rap beef. They're continuing forward with their investigation.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're like, man, they're starting to look into the seats of those quads they used to take from Meek Mill.
They sent them to the lab.
You ever see them trick bicycles people be leaving out?
Yeah.
And then videoing it, and then when you sit on it, that spring loaded.
The spring comes up, or they tie a string to it.
Yeah.
Dudes be going downhill, and then the bike just gets stopped immediately. Yeah, I've seen those videos.
All them shits is registered in Meek's name. Yeah.
That's so funny. Dude,
I'm just kidding.
Have you seen, oh man, the show is called, are you watching anything on Netflix?
I am. The Roast of Tom Brady.
Okay, we can talk about the roast of Tom Brady. Have you? There's a show called the Asunta case.
The Asunta.
Yeah, Asunta case. It's in Spain. It's a show filmed in Spain. So
okay.
The little girl's name is Asunta. It's about this case about this family who adopted this little girl, and then the little girl, they find she gets murdered, and they're investigating the murder.
No, I have no idea about that. So it's like a JonBenet Ramsey?
It's a true story.
Type of thing? Excuse me.
I'm not that. Don't be using your fucking college words around me. Who the fuck is JonBenet Ramsey? Is that
you don't
chef?
Remember that case from the 90s? The little blonde girl, the little like beauty queen that went missing and was like apparently murdered, but then they could never I think they like assumed it was her family, but they couldn't prove it. I don't think they ever solved it.
This one they solved, but the show's just crazy. Like
it's like docuseries style.
No, it's like actors and everything.
Oh, okay.
But it's a true story.
Oh, cool.
And like
cool.
as you're watching, you're just like, this really happened. This is it's so crazy that every episode they remind you. They were like, this really happened.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. When you see those things and you're like, this can't be real. Like, this can't be real.
Yeah,
like when you watch Jeffrey Dahmer, when you're watching a Dahmer thing.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, this isn't real. This guy used to go out and just bag himself minority gay men, take him back to his place, make him watch videos, and then kill them.
Yeah. Crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah. And as a man, we could fall for anything. You know, if we think that there's a blowjob at the end of this fucking road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're liable to climb into the weirdest van in the parking lot.
Are you crazy?
You know
that Kendrick van, I'm jumping right in it.
Yeah, I'm jumping right in that burgundy.
That burgundy
what
Chrysler.
was that?
It was a Chrysler.
Like a caravan?
Yes, I think it was a Chrysler.
Like a Dodge Caravan?
No, I think it's
it's not a Sebring. No, Sebring, I think, is the convertible.
Yeah, it was a Chrysler, I think. One of my homeboys got hit by my homeboy got hit by a Ford Windstar. It wasn't one of those, but it was a minivan. Right on his bike, fucking wham, creamed him. Yeah.
Yo, that's it, man. I watched one video by accident to completion of this dude getting hit by a car running across the street. Bro, my whole feed is just people getting mowed down by vehicles. I'm like, yo, how is Instagram doing this? One time you guys tricked me into watching this, and now it's like, come on. You watch one guy getting attacked by a dog, your whole feed is wild street dogs attacking people.
They got a serotonin detector in their fucking application. And when your brain starts getting crazy, they're just like, oh, he likes this, give him more.
Yeah, they should be like, oh, the humor part of the brain lights up pretty close to the like terrified part of the brain, but they can't tell the difference.
That's why they don't show me people climbing on tall buildings. I closed the app.
Bro, that gives me anxiety. I saw a guy fall off a skyscraper in China 2 days ago. I watched it. This guy was on the side of the building hanging, doing push-ups, and then you see he can't get himself up. He must have like done too many takes, I guess, or something. It was like, I don't like the angle. I'm going to do it again. Dude, and he was hanging and he's using his feet. He's trying to like walk up and he can't. And he's just like, dude, and it's so high up, bro. You just see him. You see him because we all done pull-ups to like failure. And there's that pull-up that you just ain't doing.
Yeah.
You're just not
nothing
doing
that's
it.
going to get you up there.
It doesn't matter if your mom was hanging from your feet, if your kid was hanging from your feet. Everybody's going because there's not another pull-up in me. And I could see him. He was pulling it. And then he went, woo. If that's not what's going to make you pull yourself up,
nothing.
If it's not like I'm falling to my death 70 stories if I don't pull myself up right now.
What happened?
Bro, he just fell. Whoop. You just see him. He just goes off. I didn't see him go and like turn to paint or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I saw him from the top.
Listen,
dude,
bro.
And I was just like, whoa. You know, my heart just sank, bro.
You don't got to be a fucking forensic scientist to know that dude hit the pavement splat.
Yeah, he probably killed a couple people when he got down there.
That whole movement, you know, we can't stop trying to one up each other. That shit was followed up parkour. They were like, oh yeah, you guys like fucking parkour? Well, guess what? I'm gonna fucking walk on a tightrope on top of fucking, you know, the MGM or something like that.
Yeah.
Like the idea, and the people who climb mountains with like just their bare hands with no rope, the free climbers, whatever.
Yeah.
Those guys are lunatics too.
Dude, they're insane. I don't get it. I watched that and I'm like, how is this fun? I said, how is this fun? Put on a nice movie. You know, what do you want to do? Do some push-ups. You want to really live on the edge, bro? Get yourself a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That up there, bro.
Marry a Latin woman.
Yeah, exactly.
You want something? You want to try something fucking difficult?
Yeah.
You want to really try something hard?
Get yourself a nice Latina, you know?
Yeah.
That's it, bro. Trust me, it'll make your heart race the same as climbing Everest with no line, with no slack line.
It's even more difficult. You want to tone down the difficulty? You get a first generation. A little bit easier, second generation. You want fucking maximum, you want expert mode? You get one from overseas, bro. Really fuck up your life.
Yeah, that's right. Fertile than a motherfucker, too.
Yeah. Oh, forget about it. You'd be making life more and more difficult by the fucking year. But yeah. Damn. The Tom Brady roast. I know you were saying that's what you were watching on Netflix.
Yeah, I started it, man. To be honest with you, man, I wish there was a button like there is on YouTube and I could have sped it up before I got here. Because I hadn't had an opportunity until I got home today before I got here. And I was like, I have to watch some of this. I said, because this is so important. But Jeff Ross, let me tell you, when I saw Jeff Ross and I was in the third row, first row? I went to Oddball Comedy Fest. Shout out to Coach Life. Sometimes he jumps in the chat here.
You were in the third row?
Yeah, we went
to... So you only buy shitty tickets when we go with you?
No, this was the Oddball Comedy Fest. This was at Jones Beach. And they had only been doing it for like a few years, I think. Mm-hmm. Dude, when I tell you, we saw Sarah Silverman. We saw Jeff Ross. We saw Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Hannibal Buress. Like, I'm talking about the best stand-up... Dave Attell. Damn. The best stand-up comics in the world. We saw them all back to back. It was like a music festival.
That's sick.
Dude, they did like 20 minutes each, 30 minutes. But dude, we saw the who is who of comedy that are still running comedy now. And this was years ago. Dude, we were so hyped to get roasted. Bro, I wanted to get made fun of so bad. This is when I had long hair and my full beard, and so did he. We looked the same. We both looked like Dave Grohl sitting side by side. You know, and nobody would make fun of us. Sarah Silverman was like, let me see one of you guys in this crowd. And I was like, me? And she was like, nope. Like, she could just see that we were just like, bring it on. What do you got?
Yeah. She was like, nah, I don't want a quick response from you.
Nah, she brought some gamer up there that didn't know what to do with himself when he was on stage. You know, she like sat on his lap and he was like, oh my God. You know, he was like sweating up there. He was just wishing he had his cat. You know, it was like something like that. But it was great. And Jeff Ross was murdering, dude. He was doing crowd work. He was making fun of everybody, dude. I'm telling you, he got like 2 guys at least left by their girl that night. I swear to God, he was killing everyone.
That's funny.
And I was just like hoping, I was like, please make fun of me. And they must be able to sense that you want them to, and they don't. Yeah. Dude, it's like a dog. Bro, I'm telling you, he could just sniff it on us, bro. Nobody said anything to us. Dude, we were in like I swear to God, man, I wish he was in the chat right now, dude, because there were like, dude, straight up, we were in second or third row, Jones Beach, bro. But anyway, that's my story about Jeff Ross. So Jeff Ross being the roast master at the Tom Brady roast. God damn it, was he good, man.
Yeah?
Dude, did you see it?
I only seen, what's the woman's name? The blonde, the hot one.
Oh, Nikki Glaser?
Yeah. I seen her.
I didn't get to her.
I seen her.
She's very good.
It was very funny.
Yeah, she's very good. But Jeff Ross, man, dude, did you see these people going at the whole Giselle thing?
No. The truth is like I've never been a fan of the roast.
I love the roast. Dude, I love comedy so much that to me, it's such an honor. If there's ever a day that anybody I know or care about is asked to be roasted, because it's gone on forever. They've been roasting people since like the 70s and shit. Like it's like the 60s. Like there's old roasts, but they are not as crazy as they are now. You know, but that's what it was. It was like old comics, old late night talk show hosts. They've been getting roasted for decades.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things that turned me off to it. I felt like it got cringy because it was like every time they do one, it was like they were one-upping the last one. And some of the things they were saying were like getting crazier and crazier.
Oh, dude, they were going ham, because you know the whole story with Tom Brady and his ex-wife, Giselle, the Victoria's Secret angel, and they were just going, dude. They were doing crazy stuff. Like he was talking about how Tom Brady leaving. He's like, you. It was Kevin Hart that did this because he was the host. I don't want to spoil this for anyone. Can I spoil one joke?
Yeah.
So Kevin Hart is like, listen, man, when you left the Patriots, you left Belichick out there by himself and stuff. He's like, you really fucked him. You know what I mean? You really fucked him and stuff. And he's like, but sometimes you got to fuck a coach. You know what I mean? He's like Giselle, like your wife, how she was fucking the karate coach.
Oh! You remember she was fucking that jujitsu
It
guy?
was a jujitsu guy, but he said karate. He said 8 classes, Tom. He said all that training she was doing, and she's still a white belt. You know? I was like, oh my God, dude. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, they have no limits in the roast,
That's
man.
the thing, bro.
Dude, he was like, and then Jeff Ross was like, yeah, you really put the jizz in Giselle. You know what I mean? He's like, he brought up that guy too. He brought up the
Nikki
jiu-jitsu
Glazer
guy.
brought her up too, talking about Tom Brady had an
God.
extra ring from getting his back from Giselle.
Oh my God, yeah. Tom, what is Kevin Hart said? He said, you did some real shit. He was like, you were like, listen, when she gave you the ultimatum, you either retire, it's me or retirement. I mean, it's me or football. And he's like, you just said, you know what? Going 8-9 is worth my wife and my family. They were killing it, dude. I was like, this is great. It was great, and I barely saw it. I mean, I love the roast, man. The roast of Flavor Flav was classic. The roast of Pamela Anderson was classic. There were some really, really good ones, man. I wish that Ricky Gervais would do these. Donald Trump was great. I wish that Ricky Gervais would do this. He's one of my favorite comics, man.
You would like to see him roast or get roasted?
I would like to see him do the roasting. For sure. 100%.
He doesn't really seem like he does that kind of humor, right? Does he? He
Yeah.
seems very like his humor is like it's almost like dry to a sense. It's like it's not really like poking fun at anybody specific.
There's a lot of truth to it. It's a lot of observational humor but when he goes in, like if you ever see him host the Oscars, you ever see that?
No.
Dude, you got to watch that.
Yeah.
Dude, he goes in the whole time talking about how terrible it is. He's drinking the whole time, talking about how everybody in the crowd is pedophiles and shit.
Oh, shit.
And how everybody that runs the show. I can't believe that they let him keep doing it. He said, I hate this. He said, I'm hoping that they cancel this, like shut it off while I'm doing it. I don't want to do this.
Was Drake in the crowd? Was he the first one was he the first whistleblower? Dude, what's going on with the Boeing shit? I know I'm jumping around, but I know that you loved. I know that.
What do you got for me? Talk to me.
We're not gonna be able to talk about it because I don't know enough about it.
And you talk too much about Boeing, you get a hole in the head. You gotta be careful.
What?
Spout a blowhole out of your forehead. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on? What's happening? Do you know anything?
The other guy that passed from some weird infection or something? Like,
yeah. There's like 9 whistleblowers. They're like down 3 or down 2. What's going on?
I know I had a friend send me a hysterical tweet that said Drake's only hope right now is to say that Kendrick is a Boeing whistleblower.
That's very fucking funny.
Isn't that funny, bro?
That's very funny. Yeah, I see that headline. It was mad funny because it was like all of them in a row, and it's like they're like X's over the ones that mysteriously died.
Yeah, it's a wild thing, man. I mean, you know how this goes. When there's money involved, man, you follow the money. There's a lot of money involved in these airlines. I mean, they bail them out every time their companies fail. Yeah. I mean, they just give them billions of dollars. Just like resurrect the company.
That's crazy. And it's like more people. What's even crazier is there's more people coming forward saying that like it's like, you know, they're like, we got to come forward. Like, this isn't safe. But it's like, dude, what's going on? Like, what's the truth? Because these planes have done like probably thousands of flights on each of them and they're not falling out of the sky. So like, is this real?
Yeah, I think what happens is this is more of a recent thing. So I think that a lot of these planes were built previously, so they're okay. It's the newer ones going forward. That's the problem. It's the whole lapse in safety protocol and all that kind of stuff was on recent models. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's been happening forever. So I think it must have come from probably, if I had to guess, some kind of change of leadership, which then alternates the budgeting and where they spend the money. And then, of course, money affects everything. It affects quality. It affects production. It affects safety. It affects the amount of staff you have.
Yeah. So I need to get like a cheat sheet, like an alternate list. I need to know what the next best plane to get on. Like when I'm looking to travel, I need to know which one of the planes are the good ones. Like which one are you jumping on? Like what's the plane that when you go, you're like, all right, we're going to be good. Do you know? Is like the Cessna, the Dodo Bird? Which one do you prefer?
I say that, dude, I'm getting on the one that, first of all, let me just say that I wish those hydro, like those water landing planes, were bigger and could carry more people.
You wish that like big airplanes also had
Could
those,
land in the ocean.
also had those things.
Yeah, I went on one of those and it was really cool. I went on one of those in Key West and it was super cool. He landed in the ocean.
Yeah, no, the big ones could do that
You know?
too. They just can't take off.
Yeah.
It's not the landing part that's difficult. It's the
That's right.
taking off part.
And then they open that big water slide and everybody has a blast.
Yeah, everybody
You know?
has a blast. Yeah, Titanic.
Yeah, remember when that flight attendant quit? You remember that?
They jumped out the side.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
Dude, you don't remember before they took off, they're like on the tarmac or they landed or whatever. And this dude, he had some like BF. He had a bitch fit. It was one of those,
Yeah.
you know, one of those guys, you know, and he's on the mic and he starts saying that. Whatever, he quits or something, he pulls the emergency shit and the whole slide opens up and he slides down that shit. That's how he quit.
That's bad. That's even better.
He got
than,
arrested because it's such like a crazy move. Like you can't just launch last minute safety equipment.
Yeah,
You can't just do that,
Dude, he was
dude.
better off tampering with the fucking smoke alarm.
Yeah, he would have been better off taking a parachute and jumping mid-flight probably. You know,
Better
only
off-
affect yourself.
Yeah, trying to jump into the captain's seat. I tell you one thing, dude. I seen a video the other day of some guy like waking up from his sleep in an airplane and just lighting a cigarette. Like I guess he just is used to doing it, and everybody's like, "Dude, what the fuck are you doing?" That guy ends up going to jail too.
He probably thought, first of all, he got on there with a lighter, so y'all already fucked up.
Yeah.
All right, let's not talk about that. How you let the guy get on there with a lighter. I mean, lucky he didn't have a fuse in his balls. You know what I'm saying?
Who the fuck missed this one?
Yeah, come on, guys. Who's asleep at the wheel? Probably wouldn't have. Where'd they fly out of? New York, them angry ass TSA.
Nah, I don't know. Dude,
Yo.
we have the angriest TSA agents over here, bro.
The most miserable ever, bro.
Bro, I got bad luck. I always get pulled aside at the airport. Always. And especially, dude, I get pulled aside coming back into New York. And you know what's wild? Is
You
that,
do look like a coyote, though.
Yeah, I look like a coyote.
Yeah,
you know what's
you
mad
definitely
funny?
do.
Is that I try not to give anybody a hard time when they're doing their job because you're just doing their job. But sometimes these TSA agents be pushing me to I forgot where I was coming from. I was coming back home. And he's like asking me what I did on vacation and giving me a hard time. And I'm like, dude, I'm home. There's nowhere you can send me. It's not like he said something to me about like being a dick, and I'm like, I'm here. I'm home already. It's not like I'm landing where I just was, where they could send me back home. I'm already here. Like, there's not much of a conversation to be had. Look through all my stuff. Like, I went on vacation. These are all the things I did. Like, that's it.
Yeah. I don't understand that. How do they keep... You must be flagged since the first time they stopped you. And then, because, dude, knock on wood, I'm thankful to never have even known anybody that's been stopped besides you. Well, I'm
Yeah.
lying. I do have a friend that's been stopped before.
I travel a lot, though.
Yeah.
And it must do with it. It maybe has to do with the fact that my mom used to bring a lot of cheese in from the Dominican Republic. Maybe they took a bunch of her cheese, and like now I'm on like a list of people who always like import meats and shit.
You might be. I'll tell you what, man. It's not more annoying than that. I'll keep it a stack. I will be 100% honest. I was behind this lady coming back from Puerto Rico in the summer. Mm-hmm. I'm coming back from Puerto Rico. I'm on the line. This lady, they're like, you have anything in your bag? She's like, no tengo nada, no, I don't have anything. They send it through the machine. They pull it out. Yo, they start pulling quenepas out her shit. They start pulling fucking aguacates out her shit. I'm like, yo, and she's like, oh, no, pero yo no sabía que yo no podía. Like, I had no idea that I can't bring this. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't know, lady? Come
It's
on,
mad funny
bro.
because that's what I was gonna say to you. I was gonna say, I bet you don't complain when you're eating fucking canepas, right?
Nah, my aunt overnights them like a normal person.
Okay, I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, she's overnighted.
Pretty sure that's illegal too.
Bro,
Don't-
she's
don't say too
overnighted
much.
me frozen rellenos de papa, papi.
That's-
Frozen.
Okay, that's probably not bad. When you're bringing in fruit, the fruit brings in like the invasive species. I think that's why they don't allow them in.
Come on, man. You never heard about a Puerto Rican moth coming here and doing damage?
Nah,
Give me
they're
a break,
bringing-
man. They all come from, you know where they come from.
Yep, that's
on,
where that
bro.
dengue is at too.
Come on.
That's where the dengue's at. Anyways, but fuck, you fucked me up. No, but yes, bringing in things at the airport. Maybe I'm on a list somewhere, but you know what? Whatever. They got to do what they got to do to keep us safe. Pull more people aside. Normally I don't care. I just don't want to answer like a million questions that are irrelevant. But
Yeah,
I don't
no.
care if you like grab my balls a couple times. I'm not bringing anything with me.
Yeah.
If anything, you wasted a random search on me, you know? But whatever. Fucking, you want to tug on my stick a little bit? Go ahead.
Go for it. Did they hit you with the backhand move?
Dude, they hit me with the back. You're right, because maybe I do get stopped often at the airport for whatever reason.
Yeah, you must be on something like, not that you're a criminal, but like, you know, they were probably like, we've stopped him before. There's probably a record of when you've been stopped. That's the thing. So they keep on going with that, because I'm sure they have to document that somewhere that they stopped you.
How would they know it was me? They don't check. Like, this is when you're going through TSA. This isn't like customs. You're just going through that security point. They're not checking any identification.
Oh, so they're just choosing you.
Yeah, I get chosen.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, you just got that look. You know what I'm saying? You got that kind of, I'd stop you too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got to stop wearing sunglasses
I'd stop you too.
indoors.
I'll tell you what, man, there was this wild guy going to Puerto Rico that was online in front of us. Wild. He was sweating.
Oh, he was geeked, right?
Bro, he was sweating and shit. I was like, oh my God, this guy got some shit in there. I was like, what are you taking to Puerto Rico? What are you taking over there, bro? Like, what the
That's
fuck?
mad funny.
You know, dude, he had tattoos in weird places and shit. I'm like, dude, you're definitely getting stopped.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything on you, you should have on the plane.
Yeah.
Not in the airport.
Yeah, facts. Because now look at you.
Yeah, because, dude, I was like, don't you dare, bro. Don't you dare. Dude, I was behind him online the same way I look at the guy that's got 65 lotto tickets he needs to check in front of me.
Ugh.
When I'm trying to just get like $10 on pump 6.
I don't get how people can really spend that much money on Lotto. Because Lotto isn't even like scratch off. At least scratch off, you get the enjoyment of like playing the scratch off, right?
Yeah, you get the little heart racing.
Yeah. Lotto, you don't get any of that. How are people spending Dude, I used to work with a guy that used to get like $50 worth of Lotto, like at lunch, just casually, just get 50 quick picks. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, that to me is that's the ultimate in gambling, because to me the Lotto is the most made up gambling that exists. It's the easiest to rig. It's the easiest to there's the most people in it, and it's fucking run by the government, bro. It's New York State Lotto. If you think you're going to beat the government in a game that gives you money,
And then they take half of it.
bro,
That's the craziest part, is even when you hit, they win every time.
dude, they win if nobody wins. They win if everyone wins. Don't matter.
They're just waiting around for somebody to win so they can win.
Yeah, exactly. And they win the most if you don't win. They just keep it all.
Yeah.
Dude, they keep it all. What?
If nobody wins, they keep it. I thought it stays in the pot.
No, are you kidding me? You don't think they're borrowing from there? They're paying Social Security out of the New York State Lotto.
Yeah, the interest they're making on that.
Dude, I'm sure that they're doing corrupt shit in there. They're giving migrant debit cards out of the Lotto pool. Are you crazy, bro? That's a big Ponzi scheme.
Saif says, my dad got put in jail traveling to the U.S. and they kept him there for 5 hours. No reason. Let him go after 5 hours. No explanation. It's weird. Our airports, they're not messing around. Yeah. They're not messing around for whatever reason. It's I guess national security. Shout out to Ray Figs in the chat. Our guy, Ray Figs. My book of sonnets is over there. And I know there's things that we have to talk about that we haven't talked about. We got about 5 minutes left of the episode.
Holy shit.
I know. We've been chatting it up. Chatty Cathy's us tonight.
Yeah, well, my main thing was just this update on the Drake and Kendrick thing, and how there was that shooting outside of Drake's house last night that hit his security guard. They also vandalized the London OVO store. They sprayed, you're not like us, or they're not like us on the windows. So that was what I had. Do you want me to get your book?
No. You could tell us about the story about the doctor at the restaurant.
Oh, my God. You're right. Man. Okay, so a story that's very sad.
Super sad.
Super sad. I'll start with that because it's not going to end there. It's going to start there. So this guy, apparently there's a doctor. I'm not going to use his name. You guys can look it up if you want. I'm sure it's the only story of its kind. But there was this man who's being described as an aspiring doctor. They were at some restaurant in Louisiana on some lake, him and his friends, right? So he's an aspiring doctor. I don't know what that means because there are 6-year-olds that are aspiring doctors.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How do you describe someone as an aspiring doctor? Shit, if I decide tomorrow I want to be a doctor, I'm an aspiring doctor.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to be on the road. You got to be at least enrolled into a pre-med program.
Yeah, at least, and getting good grades.
Yeah.
And like being, you're on the you're on the path.
Yeah,
to get into med school.
Or you're already taking classes that are on the curriculum. Maybe you're not pre-med yet,
Yes.
but you're banging out some of the classes.
Yes.
You're doing the prereqs, That's what aspiring physician is to me. But so I don't know what this guy was.
Yeah, so that's how they're describing him in the news. So I'm not sure how far along he is in this, on this path or what have you, but that's what they're describing him as. So they say that he's out with some friends. They're at this restaurant on this lake and they're drinking or what have you. Or at least there's alcohol served. They don't specify that they were drinking, at least not in a story that I read. But his friends think it's funny. They play a joke on him, as boys do. I mean, none of my friends would do this. Where we come from, you do this. It's probably a fight. But they push him into the water. And apparently this man can't swim.
How soon do they realize that he can't swim?
Apparently, the way they described it in the article is he was left to die, which I don't think is the case.
Did he just sink?
Dude, listen.
What happened? Like, he didn't kick around, and one of his boys was like, I guess they can't swim either?
I don't know. Apparently, I don't think they knew. And what they say in the article is that he himself didn't know he couldn't swim until he got pushed in the water.
What do you mean? He's never swam?
Dude.
Where was this?
Louisiana, I believe.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
They got bayous.
I think so. I think it was Louisiana. So I'm actually going to fact check that real quick because I think that matters.
So he
In
dies?
this moment. No.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not going to look this up. So he was in some kind of, like, they considered it to almost be brain death as reported by the article. I believe it was the Daily News I read this in. And so he ended up miraculously making somewhat of a recovery at this point. He's awake, he's talking, he's eating, but I'm sure they said they're working on his physical rehabilitation as well as his short-term memory or his memory. So what I say to myself is, and the family is now suing, they're pursuing litigation against the restaurant for having this restaurant on the water and not enough safeguards against the water while serving alcohol, all this kind of stuff. That takes all culpability off of the guy that's 26 years old and can't swim.
And his homeboys who kicked him in the river.
Dude, I got news for you. I'm sorry. This might be a take that's going to be taken. It might not be received well. You're a grown man. Listen to me. You're a grown-ass man. You're 26 years old. Learn how to swim, dude. You need to learn how to swim. You can't be 26 years old and not know how to swim. It's your responsibility as an adult to be able to at least tread water. At least, like, what do you do? What are you going to do if you're somewhere with your kid in his water and the kid falls into water? What are you going to do? You're going to watch him drown? Learn how to swim, dude. That's crazy.
He should know how to swim. Not only that.
That's crazy. You're a grown-ass man.
Maybe he didn't have a dad. Nobody ever told him that. He probably can't ride a bike either.
Well, you know what? Then if his boys push him onto a bike, he's in trouble.
Can you imagine?
I guess that's not part of the rehab. He's not going to be on a bike.
No. He can't be.
I shouldn't be laughing.
No, he's alive. You can laugh. I wonder how this is going to affect his medical career. Like, is he going to be able to be? It's going to be much more difficult to be a doctor now that he's lost all those fucking neurons.
He's not going to be a doctor on a cruise liner. That's what I'll tell you.
No.
But I don't know. I just find it. I can understand if they pushed you out of a plane and you couldn't fly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But, his family's suing the restaurant.
I also don't think, how does this guy drown? Nobody realizes that he's drowning. I feel like if I throw you into the deep end of a pool as a joke, right, and you can't swim, I'm going to realize fairly quickly that you're drowning.
I kind of think that they probably pushed him and walked away and got another round of drinks or something. They were like, he's going to get out of the water because a normal man thinks that another man can swim.
The not being able to swim thing is kind of crazy.
That's crazy, bro. Like, as a man, you got to be able to throw a decent right hand. You got to be able to swim.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you got to be able to fight the riptides.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. This is not the ocean. This is a lake.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
you just got to be able to tread water a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's it, dude. You can't...
Yeah, lay on your back and float.
Yeah, come on, bro. I mean, too much blame is being put on these guys that pushed him in. I think part of this blame is on the guy that got pushed. Learn how to swim, my man.
Yeah, honestly, his boys should be the one that get blamed for throwing him in there.
They should be responsible for teaching him how to swim.
Yeah.
That's their sentence. If I was the judge, I'd be like, I'm sentencing you to hereby teach this guy how to swim.
Yeah, 6 months of swimming lessons.
6 months
Taught
of swimming
to you by
lessons.
the assailants.
What do you think the guys' names are that pushed him? Come on.
Jeff.
I'm getting like Tyler vibes.
Jeff and Tyler.
You know, Jeff, Tyler, Brad.
Yep.
Fucking Brad pushed him, I
Yeah.
bet.
Brad, why would you fucking do that?
Yeah.
You told me it'd be funny.
I mean, come on. Like, I can understand people from like the Bronx that can't swim. Like, people from, you know, there's really not many places you go and swimming. You know what I'm saying? It's more important to be able to dribble a basketball and fight than it is to swim. I mean, you're never going to get attacked by a pool. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to be able to, you know, you got to be able to do your thing. But I mean, come on, bro.
I'll tell you one thing.
Come on, man.
I used to go to Splish Splash for the people from New York. We have there's a water park called Splish Splash on Long Island. I used to go to Splish Splash. Dude, every single time I was there, somebody was getting dragged out the fucking wave pool because they didn't know how to swim. They was deep in the wave pool.
Bro.
Couldn't swim.
Bienvenidos a Shotgun Falls.
Yeah.
You know, you go flying off that slide, you lose your
Yeah.
shit for a second.
Dude, it's fun. Dude, my mom can't swim.
My dad can't. Don't think that these jokes are coming from somewhere crazy. Like,
Yeah.
listen, my dad's from the inner city, bro. Like, he can't swim either, but it's okay because he's with me. He got me. I can
Yeah,
swim.
yeah, same thing with
He
my
ma-
mom.
He made sure I could swim.
Yeah,
they
my
put
mom
me in
don't-
swimming lessons. Like, I was in competitive swimming with a Marine lady with a peg leg, bro.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah.
know you were a seaman.
Yeah, bro. You have no idea, man. I got a hell of a breaststroke. You know what I'm saying?
I can imagine.
So, but yeah, nah, that's why I think this is damn. That's funny. My dad can't. Your mom can't. That's hysterical.
Yeah, Spaz.
Well-
Shout out to Spaz. He said their names are Bob and Weave.
Yeah, let's catch up on this chat a little bit because I think we're wrapped up, right? We're just about ready.
That's it for me. I've given
That's
I've given everybody everything I had.
Yeah.
We caught up. The rap beef, we'll see if it continues. Drake kind of made it seem like, you know, it's over. But nobody even responded to Kanye at all or acknowledged that he made a track, which is the funniest shit ever. I feel like Kanye made a track and then everybody was like, all right, Kanye, take it easy. Like,
Nah,
you know?
I think that the censorship online is so crazy that if somebody mentions the name Kanye in a song, they like bury their record.
Are you crazy? This video is going to get buried from us saying his
Oh,
name.
absolutely, bro. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? It's gonna be at the bottom. You're not gonna find it on like page 86 in Google. Yeah, exactly. That's us falling to the bottom of the algorithm. That's exactly what that is. That's us plummeting.
Yeah.
But
That's all I got.
yeah, let's jump in, man. Catch up on the chat. We got quite a few people down there, man. Let's go.
Oh, they talk about the spray paint. Yeah, no, I'm pretty much caught up. Spaz was the last thing they said, and all these other things are from previous conversations.
Yeah, from
They were talking
Saif?
about Saif was talking about the his dad getting detained in New York, and in the U.S. from the airport, and then the spray paint thing was about the Kendrick Lamar, the spray painting of what was it that they spray painted?
The front of the store, the OVO store. You know how Drake has these OVO stores?
Okay.
There's one in London, and they sprayed it across the front window.
That's so funny because like nobody over there is involved in this. You guys should fucking take it easy over there. Stick to stabbing each other. There was like a crazy brutal stabbing in London. I think yesterday.
I can't
seen, like,
even.
an article.
They're crazy over there. Hey, Saif is in the chat, bro. He'll tell you all about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. Nah, they're
Isn't that
terrifying.
so funny?
Dude, they're not knives that they pull over there. They be sword fighting, bro.
Yo, yeah.
That's wild. They sword fighting groups.
Yeah, they probably think we're crazy because we shoot each other,
Bro.
But they're crazy with that fucking dude. The knives, the machetes.
Bro, they pull out like knives that you see in Aladdin. The blades are curved and shit. I'm like the Agrabah lot and like swords, bro. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is going on, bro? They're like scoundrel.
Yo, that's got to be like a skill, like your ability to like your like your swordsmanship. Like they definitely like people who you think like, you know how over here like there's like boxers who hit the streets and just do damage. You think over there there's like fencers that hit the street and just do damage. You think they're like kids taking fencing lessons in class in school just so they could get jiggy in the streets. You know how like we box, like they go to the rec and you box so people don't fuck with you in the street. You think in London they go to the rec and they fence?
Yo, it's possible. I'll tell you what, them shits are so big. Like in New York, if somebody pulls a knife, it's a folding knife or a box cutter or something. Yo, these dudes be having, you ever see them? They pull this shit, they be having a sheath in the left hand. And they be having a sword.
Yeah.
And they pull that shit from a sheath. I'm like, yo, bro.
Dude, I seen somebody
take everything I have, bro.
Yeah.
Fam.
I seen a dude kick in the store at a chicken spot with a big knife, and then the other dude pulls out another big knife, and they're just swinging these hatchets.
He was with a shorty, right?
Yes.
Yo, bro, them dudes came to press him. They were like, "What's up, fam?" And this dude just, yo, my man backed out the matalaca. You know what I'm saying? He pulled out that big shit, and then his girl's like, "No," and he's like, "I got it, yo. It's all good. Like, it's all good. Keep eating your chicken or whatever." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Tell him don't forget the chips.
I know what you're talking about, bro. And the dude, he kept them dudes at bay though. He warded them off through the doorway.
100%.
He was nice with it, bro. He definitely like defended a castle before.
100%.
For sure. Yo, he was at the drawbridge, like, back up, like pushing him into the moat. You know what I'm saying? Like pushing him in with the Crocs.
That's mad funny because immediately in my mind I'm like, well, where are the archers? Like, are they also like archers out there?
Yo, I'll tell you what, they're up on the rooftop.
They're snipers. Those are their snipers.
They got dudes with blowguns.
Is that how they assassinate their politicians?
Yo, maybe. Flaming arrows
flaming
at their vessel as they leave port.
Catapults. What's going on?
Yo, we're out of control. Yo, we're getting riled up right now. We're about to do an after hours episode.
I'm all jazzed up now.
Hold on. Let's see if anybody else. Oh my God. Nope. Bob and Weave was the end. All right, guys, that's what we got. We're gonna wrap right here.
Wait, hold on. Saeed said, Jay, you focused on the wrong thing. How do you become brain dead from not drowning? No. Wait. So he did drown.
Oh, yeah.
He just didn't die.
Yeah, he drowned. He just didn't die. There's weird kinds of things with water. There's even secondary drowning. So you can drown, be saved, and then go home and die in your bed because you still have water in your lungs that was not addressed. Because if you drown and you're resuscitated, you don't just get in a car and go home. You go to the hospital. Because they have to make sure that there's no water in your lungs and stuff like that. Like, so there are things like people die from secondary drowning. That's like,
I didn't know that. I thought drowning was like getting choked in the gym. Like they pick your legs up, they bring you back to, and as long as you wake up, you can keep training.
Nah, bro. Nah, it's different because that's a blood choke. That's just an arterial occlusion that causes you to go out from a choke. What causes you to go out from drowning is your lungs are filled with water. You can't get oxygen to your brain, which then causes hypoxia. So now you're depleted in oxygen. You don't have enough oxygen to stay awake and alert. So you pass out. And now your brain is depleted of oxygen because your lungs can't take in any more oxygen to distribute it to your blood to get to your organs. So if you don't have enough oxygen going to your brain, that's called an anoxic brain injury. So now you can get brain damage. Even if you're saved, your brain can still be permanently damaged from not having enough oxygen.
Damn.
So I read once in a book.
That's pretty good. Not bad for a fucking fireman.
Yeah. Not bad. But that's what we got.
That's it. Masters of None. Episode 198. We're going to do something for 200. We don't know what the fuck we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to do something. We're going to figure it out. So, I almost pulled up that that crazy ass DA talking shit.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we got. Masters of None Podcast, episode 198. Make sure that you guys on the way out, you hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time that we go live or post a new video. And yeah, check out our old videos in the archive and our audio podcast on your favorite audio podcast listening platform. If you don't find us on your favorite audio podcast listening platform,
join the Discord fam.
Join Crody.
Join Crody and harass us until we place our podcast on your obscure podcast listening platform. Thank you for everybody that rocked out with us tonight. Spaz, Saif, Chris, everybody in the chat. Anybody I missed, I apologize. I just have a poor memory.
Ray Figs.
Oh, yeah, of course. Our guy, Mr. Ray Figs himself. Shout out to Ray Figs. Go check him out on YouTube. If you can click his name, might take you right to his channel. If not, it's just Ray Figs on YouTube. Check him out. And that's it. Master episode 198. That's it. Hit the fucking music. Dun, dun, dun.
Oye, te hablo desde la prisión. Wilson Manyoma. Borbona.